The interviews for the 8 candidates are scheduled to happen on the 30th of December this year to determine their suitability.
Appointments in different government departments have continued to be made to ensure President Ruto's plan in making Kenya a better state is successful. However, the appointments have elicited a debate on whether the appointments are in form of a reward to the key contributors of President Ruto's journey to State House. The roles of Parliamentary Service Commission include providing services and facilities to ensure efficient and effective running of Parliament, constituting offices in the Parliamentary Service and appointing and supervising office holders, preparing annual estimates of expenditure of the Parliament Service and submitting them to National Assembly for approval, and exercising budgetary control over the service and performing functions necessary for the well-being of the members and staff of Parliament. Senate Clerk Jeremiah Nyegenya has invited members of the public to submit any information of interest concerning the suitability of those shortlisted to the office of the Clerk of the Senate before Thursday 29 this month. After the interviews being done on December 30th, PSA will recommend the names of suitable candidates for appointment to the National Assembly and the Senate. Israel Omwai, KUTV.
Elsewhere, the recent incident against the 3-year-old Junior Sagini, whose eyes were gouged out in Marani area of Kisii County, is alleged to be caused by property inheritance disputes. Investigation showed that Sagini's attackers wanted him dead because he will be the heir to his stepfather's farm.
Detailing the circumstances behind the brutal attack that left Sagini without both eyes, his grandmother Rael Nyakerario, in her statement, told detectives in Kisii that Pacifica Nyakerario, her daughter-in-law, and her son Alex Ochongo conspired to kill baby Sagini, the presumed sole heir of his stepfather's land.
I make the following orders. 1. That the state's application in opposition of bond or bail is merited and therefore allowed. 2. That the accused persons shall be remanded without bond or bail awaiting trial. 3. That the accused persons may make an application for bond or bail in the future in the event of changed circumstances. And 4. That the court shall ensure a fair and expeditious trial considering the decision rendered herein.
According to reports, Sagini's attacker stabbed him in a sack before taking him to an unknown location where they gouged out his eyes before dumping him in a maize farm, thinking he was dead. The three, Alex Ochongo, Pacifica Nyakerario Ochongo, and Rael Mayaki, were presented before the Chief Resident Judge Christine Ogweno and denied the charges on murder. The three suspects were caught in connection with trying to execute murder on the toddler by plucking out Junior Sagini's eyes in Marani. Will be remanded by the Kisii court awaiting the mention of the case on January 18th next year. Additionally, police reports said that Nyakerario, who was arrested on Thursday morning, gave a report saying that the plan of Pacifica and Ochongo was to remove the child from the chain of land inheritance. On Friday, the court, through Judge Christine Ogweno, declined to grant the suspect bond. Therefore, the three suspects will remain in custody during trial, which starts on January 18. In the Gusii customary law of property inheritance, a child not born at the home where his mother is married to is considered an illegitimate child, and it is believed that if they inherit from their stepfather, they will contaminate the family tree.
In other news, an elders' council has expressed concerns over current moral decadency in the local community and called for interrogation of the cultural life. The Aba Gusii Culture and Development Council condemned an anti-social acts being perpetrated, citing lynching of suspected sorcerers, defilement, suicide, and teenage pregnancy cases. Speaking in Kisii town, the elders condemned the act, saying when they went against the community's deeply ingrained norms and values, vowing to employ all means to curb the trend. They singled out the gouging of the 3-year-old's Master Sagini's eyes in Marani sub-county, warning that such acts were unheard of.
Wadogo sana na watu wakubwa na vijana wakubwa ambayo wanawaharibu kabisa maisha yao, na hiyo wasee wamesikia mbaya, wamesikia mbaya na walisema lazima tuangalie tabia zetu.
We'll also use our cultural office in Kisii to sensitize or to educate the youths who are within town so that they get to know how Omogusi came up, grew up, and whatever is expected of Omogusi.
Well, in other news, doctors agreed to engage with the government in a bid to avert a nationwide strike that was scheduled to begin on January 6th next year. In a letter addressed to the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union KMPDU members today, union officials indicated that talks with various government agencies were underway. The Union Secretary General Davji Atela revealed that the officials had already met with a conciliator in an attempt to have contentious issues addressed. According to KMPDU, the government owed each doctor 900,000 Kenyan shillings for failure to implement collective bargaining agreements between 2017 and last year. Moving on swiftly, the government through the ICT authority has launched public hotspots at Migingo Market in Bondo sub-county. The public hotspots will provide free access to Wi-Fi services to small-scale traders in the market to enhance trade across digital platforms. Speaking during the launch, ICT and Digital Economy CS Mr. Eli Dowalo said the launch is in line with the government's plans of providing access to internet by members of the public across the country. Owalo disclosed that it is the government's plans to establish 25,000 public hotspot zones in the country to encourage access to internet.
First public hotspot we are launching in Nyanza. It is part of a countrywide provision of internet connectivity to Kenyans in line with the Kenya Kwanza plan. It is our plan to enable ordinary Kenyans access the World Wide